So I would like take the gum off the wall sometimes and just put it in people's faces. Like a few people ate it out of my hand. And, like I was like, and I was like, it's pre-chewed, and they're like, what? This is chewed? And I'm like, yeah, you're eating it. And they're like, oh my god. And I just spit it back in my hand.
What's up, Fracture Compass fans? I'm Bree.
I'm Mike.
And we are back for another Take 5 Monster Edition. And today we have Amber joining us from the 17th door.
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
The dark horse of all our videos,
Yeah.
for sure. That one kind of blew up. But yeah.
Oh, but I'm so excited. Again, we are going to be trying snacks and candies from around the world since it is just off the haunt season. So I thought sweets would be a nice addition. And some of them are really great and some of them are not.
Yes, we have found that out for sure in the last video, at least my first time. Some of them are not good.
So we'll be trying these. We'll be trying these one at a time, and then we'll be talking to Amber and asking some questions. And then after we kind of go through a segment, we'll be trying some more. So that's how this works.
So, do you want me to grab
get
the first
started.
treat?
Do it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be
Cool.
All right, guys. So this one's easy, right?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is the marshmallows cookie with the coconut.
All right.
So
Cheers.
you don't have to eat it all. You can take a bite, but if you don't like it, there you go.
Easy. This one's like a breeze,
Yeah.
guys.
That's pretty yummy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't usually buy this kind of stuff, but I think I'm going to.
I love marshmallow. So it's really good.
It's very it makes me want to just eat this more.
I don't like coconut though, but it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. And if I think, what is that, texture? It's a texture thing.
No, that could be a flavor thing for some people.
That can be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get started with our first question.
Oh my
Do you want to
goodness. Go for it.
So we're gonna do the basics. We already know that you work at the 17th door. Does your character have a name, and do you have a haunt name?
So my character does not have a name because I'm a Vixie nurse. None of the Vixie nurses have names. That's kind of the thing, is that we're all like monotone, all together, all like one, like brainwashed sort of person, you know?
Very interesting.
So
yeah.
no names, but I don't have a haunt name yet, but I came close to one. I don't remember what it was, but probably
So-
like dummy or something.
So
No,
your haunt name would
actually,
be no name.
Minor, that was it. Minor. I'm the only person under 18 that works at 17th door. Minor. Like everyone calls me Minor, baby. Like, you know.
Minor baby.
That
They're like, oh, she's the baby. Like,
was surprising to me that they allow you to work at the 17th door
I know.
being a minor. Like,
yeah.
But that's still.
That was a special
No.
case.
That was incredible. I mean, that shows that they probably trust you very, very
Yeah.
much, and you have a lot of talent, right? You're in.
yeah.
Do you want to?
Vixie.
Yeah. What is
Vixie
necessarily
nurse,
Vixie
I don't
nurse?
understand.
So Vixie, like the Vixie ward, Vixie Laboratories, like same thing. They this year, they just kind of took over. Because Vixie was really only VR last year. But they kind of took over the penitentiary and like had a bunch of new treatments. So that's why there were more nurses this year.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's just some company that these white skin, blue like contour, all that, like blue hair.
Yeah.
It just came from them, I guess. I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
And there's
I
a
like
few
it.
the guards that had the skulls on their faces, with like the gas mask type things. Those are Vixie guards.
Did we
So
see
they're
any of
technically
those?
yes, you did for sure in the first warden office.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
I was so like nervous
Yeah.
for the most part.
You have tunnel vision sometimes.
Yes,
especially.
when I did the walkthrough, I was
God.
always like so aware of what's going on, because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want anything bad to happen right
Yeah,
now.
Because
I
it's
knew,
such a
like,
detailed experience, but sometimes you don't notice the details because you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, what's gonna
like,
happen next?
Yeah, I know what's happening in this room. Like, I always like can tell when people walk in to the room that they're like, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but I'm not ready for it. And they're always like looking around, so aware.
Yeah.
They're like, what's
Like
going
surveying,
on?
like, okay, oh, what's that up there?
There's always people
Yeah.
that'll notice like the contraptions in a certain room that I worked in, and they're like, oh, that's gonna happen, and I'm like, oh, are you sure?
Well, when they put you in the little steel box that
Locker.
drops from, I was like looking behind me. I was like, what?
Okay.
What is it gonna drop?
He figured out.
And the monster was like, bang, bang, bang. Don't look behind you. Like,
Yeah, no, people.
But you know what's great about this haunt too is that you never feel unsafe. It always feels like the danger feels palpable, but you know that it's not real.
That's
and I think
the main goal.
Yeah,
that is
the
main
biggest
goal.
thing that I felt the most like anxiety was the latex room.
Oh yeah.
That one
For
was
sure.
like so psychological, and I knew that like okay, just mind your P's and Q's. But I panicked a little. I was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
really
No, you don't expect it,
No.
and when it happens, you're like, what? Like, what's happening? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And did they start the countdown at 15?
They started it at 15.
17.
Or is it 17?
But
It
was,
starts at 17, but
yeah.
it doesn't actually start doing its thing until around 15. And it
Yeah.
only lasts about 4 seconds. But
Yeah.
then we did up it to 21 seconds by the end of the season. And
Oh my
it was
God.
actually like that for about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
I was in there the
a
first
long
night. I was in that room the
time.
first night it was upped, and I like
Dude,
after I walked out, I was like, "Hey, why'd you turn up the timer?" He was like, "I don't know, I just wanted
did
to."
guests panic the most? What room do guests panic the most in?
Either that room
Uh-huh.
or shock circle.
Shock circle. Yeah, because that's
That
like
one
Saw.
because it comes down like this, and it's like it's still loose enough. They tell us not to push it down all the way, just so it's not like, okay, oh my god, it's pushing on me. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god,
right.
what's gonna happen?
Claustrophobic.
Yeah. So because it's not pushed on, all people will try to like squeeze out of it and go underneath. And I witnessed that, and this girl like got out and then stood up and was like freaking out. Was like this, and like didn't know what to do. And I was like, you need to stop. I was like, you need to calm down. Come over here, stand by this door.
Hands,
And then
arms,
I-
feet, and legs inside
Yeah,
the trap.
I put her. There's a button above the door, and I pressed the button to let her out. And I was like, just stay here. Your group will be out in a second. And I closed the door, and I heard her scream. And I was like,
Oh.
because the
Oh,
next
yeah.
room is the cockroach room.
Oh,
She
yeah.
probably saw a cockroach and was like, oh my god.
See, the cockroach thing I was going to be totally fine with.
I don't remember going in that room.
We didn't, I
I don't think we did.
I don't
Either you walked in and someone took you out, or
Or maybe we just tunnel visioned it.
maybe you walked to maybe they let you out the back.
Because honestly, like when we were standing off to the side and the one dude was playing with the one nurse and we were just watching, and then we went into another room, and that's why when we were talked about it and people were like, were there bugs? I was like, there's no bugs. I was like, there's no bugs this year.
Because you guys went fairly around the beginning of
Yeah,
the
and
season.
so
it was we probably just didn't have that many bugs in the room itself, but the actor that's in there probably had a lot in his little box.
Is it the same room where you take the medicine, or you take like a gel? No, it's not.
No.
You took medicine?
We took medicine.
Wait. What? And what? Do you remember what door?
There it is. No,
I don't remember what door.
Okay, I don't remember what door. We went in. There was a nurse.
It's supposed to be the medicine supply room.
Yes.
It was
So
there.
it was that room. So maybe
But there just maybe weren't cockroaches in there.
there was a nurse in there.
There was a nurse in there, and
Oh.
she grabbed a bottle, and she's all like, "Take your medicine," and then the guy's like, "Okay, whatever." And so we watched the dude eat it, and he didn't die, and so we were all, and then the rest of us were like, "Okay."
It was
we'll
like
do
a giant like.
It was like a Mike and
Ike.
Ike or something, and we
Okay.
all took the medicine, and then she just pushed us
And
out.
that's
Really?
the cockroach room.
That was it.
So, okay, either the guy who does cockroaches on his break, or something went wrong, or something. He might have had to escort someone out, and then a nurse that was on her break. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, go take
Oh,
this
okay.
over, do this."
Seriously.
That could have happened, but like normally, an actor comes in there and will have a box of cockroaches and do his
Okay.
thing.
I was like, this is a pleasant room. I got a mic
Yeah.
and Ike.
Yeah,
We took some candy, and we're like, "Cool."
yeah.
Okay, so snack number 2, and we're gonna move on to our second question when we will
Right.
ask it. And I think these are just
These
pretty
are
run-of-the-mill crackers.
Yeah,
I think this is what you've been
Toast.
doing to cure everything else.
I have. I'm like,
This is also just pleasant. Good job.
Yummy.
Delicious. No, I'm a weirdo.
is this your first haunt, like year or no? So what is your
Ooh.
haunt history?
So I lived in California until I was 12.
Okay.
Then I moved to Indiana. My dad got a new job. We moved to Indiana, lived there for 3 years. Second year back here. So, when I was out there, there was a place called Amherst Asylum. And I was like, oh, I want to go here, you know? And so I went. I cried. I didn't even go inside. I heard a chainsaw, started crying. Like, nope, I'm out. Never mind, just kidding. And I stayed in the car. My friends went through.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out and they're like, oh my god, it was so awesome. They told me all about it. I was like, oh, that sounded cool. I should have done that. And then the next year I saw a sign outside because it was like around the corner from my house. It said auditions like this day, and I looked it up and they were like no age limit, blah blah blah, and I was like I'm 14, I'm gonna go do this, and so I went and I tried out and they were like sure,
Awesome.
okay.
Wow.
Very
Indiana.
like
Yeah.
everyone got like no one got turned away at auditions. Everyone like it wasn't a job though, it was volunteer work, so like I didn't get paid. The actors, we didn't do a lot of training, basically, and they were just like, don't touch anyone, basically, like, and do your thing, like improv, go ahead. You know, like we had a acting like, I forgot what they were called, workshops. We had workshops every Sunday at the actual place, and like the last Sunday we got our places, and I got to my place, and I was in a plastic box, and I had a thing on it, and that was all. And then by the end of the season, I was working in a different room, and I was having fun. I had mannequins and stuff.
Very cool.
Nice.
Like, you know how in Waxworks at Knott's there was that mannequin that like
Yes.
bent down?
Yeah.
There were 2 of those in my room, and I saw that, and I was like, I know you. I was like, hey. I was like, wait. I was like,
Ripping off the Band-Aid right there.
yeah,
Dang.
and I ended up working build that year, so I like would come in probably like once, like every now and then, you know, and I'd help out and stuff, and then we had a flood, and we found mold in the floors, and we had to close.
Dang, but it sounds like before that happened, it was like a very good like way to just
They were on their
break the ice on every font.
Eighth year?
No.
I think 8th year.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
They
That's
were
a
on,
long time
I think they were on
for
the 8th year, yeah. And then the competitor, Haunted Hills, I moved back that same year actually, but then I flew back out last year during October, and I worked at a weekend at Haunted Hills, and they're awesome. They're so awesome. They're and I walked through, because I flew in, got there late, and I emailed the guy who runs it, Justin, and I was like, can I work tonight, or do I have to just like walk through? And he was like, I'll give you free ticket, you come through, whatever. You know, and so I went through, and I was like, whoa, this place is cool. And then they put me in the next night, and I had so much fun. I was like, this is crazy. And I was working with someone that I worked with, because everyone that I'd worked with before, because everyone that was at Amherst just shifted over to Haunted Hills, and they were like, yeah, sure, we'll take actors.
Awesome.
Like, okay. You know, especially trained people, so.
It must have like held a really like deep place in your heart because you actually flew out there to do it again. You know,
Yeah.
that's really really cool.
Yeah.
You know, when you do so many haunts, you kind of just get used to all the tricks that are up their sleeve. And 17th Door has like a rabbit out of the hat. You
Yeah.
know, not tricks. It's a next level of magic.
It's that T-bone that you don't see coming through the intersection.
So
literally, because you're just like, when you're, I have a mild allergy to latex.
Okay.
So when they came out, the ladies, and I didn't know to what degree you guys were gonna use it.
Oh.
So when they were like, hey, if you have an allergy, like Mercy right now, and I was like, okay, Mercy, because I'm like, I don't want to burn for the rest of the night. And
Yeah.
so,
Good
I'm-
idea.
yeah, and so I'm like standing off to the side because they didn't kick us out of the room. They
We just put them off to the side.
yeah, and I
of the room.
totally thought I was gonna get kicked out of the room, but standing off to the side.
We'll let you watch.
Fun.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So imagine seeing that all night.
I know,
But,
but, like,
it's
that.
so fun.
But when the things came down in the latex room, just the restraints, and I was all like, oh, I probably could have like
Because you thought the
done
rubber
that.
band.
Yeah, the rubber bands, and then all of a sudden I looked up and I went, oh, and
Yeah.
I started like putting 2 and 2 together, and I was like, holy crap.
Even I, when it was layering down, I'm all, no.
Yeah.
What is happening?
It shakes people. Whenever they walk out of the room, they're like,
That's where I quickly realized.
like their faces are always just like, okay.
I was much more on edge after that experience because like that was genuinely like stressful,
Yeah.
but in a good way. I was just like, okay.
But y'all better hold your breath. When they said hold your breath, hold your breath.
Yeah.
Well, we actually stopped telling people to hold their breath because we were
Okay.
like, let them suffer,
Let 'em
it'll be
panic.
Holy
fine.
crap.
So
Anyways, all right.
we have snack number 3, and I think it's like a waffle thing.
It's like a
It's
waffle.
like a waffle.
All right,
waffle
guys.
crisp.
Cheers.
You get the tiny piece.
This is just fine. Are there any particular moments that stood out for you this season? And that can be related to like something a guest did, something you did.
Okay.
I'm like,
I gotta
here
think about this. Okay. Definitely one time I was doing VR, so I had to like strap their headsets in and everything. And it was a bunch of kids, in the room, and their dad, like one of the kids' dads, they were like young, like surprisingly a lot of young kids come through, and a lot
Really?
of deaf people too. We're really popular with the deaf community. I don't know why.
Oh.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, we came up with like at the beginning of the season, we didn't have a pendant for them, but now we do. It's a blue pendant, and then they go like this, and that means mercy. And then it's
Oh,
like-
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool that that's even
Yeah.
like a thing that's available, you know?
Yeah, but so there's a bunch of these kids in here. They're probably like 10, maybe 11. And their dad was outside. It was a group of 9, so we're only supposed to have 8. So he couldn't do anything like the gas chambers or the lockers. He couldn't do any of that. So he would just stand up to the side. And we like let that happen because they're young.
Right.
And they wanted to do VR, so they did VR. And the kids are all in there, they have their headsets on, and they're doing it. And like 3 of them had mercy pendants, and I was like, okay, y'all are gonna get shocked, but okay, like. And so he was like, I want to watch them. And I was like, okay, go ahead, stand in there, stand right in the middle, like don't, because the chairs move. And I was like, don't,
Yeah, don't
like
do
be careful.
Mm.
And so he's standing there, and he's just looking at his kid, and I like kind of peek in. And I hear them all cussing and yelling and like saying really bad things, and they're like they were like, "Oh, these nurses are hot," and he's standing there and he's like,
He's all grounded.
Wow.
Grounded.
yeah,
grounded.
he was like, "Wow," and I was like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "Oh, this is awkward."
You're all kids. I'm sorry. I'm the reason why you're grounded. You know?
Yeah, I know. And then when they took everything off, he was just standing there and he was like, I was like, "Ooh."
We're all hold that.
I was like, okay. Yeah.
Um,
Just being in shock circle the whole night was just a whole like, whoa, like these people hate this and it's funny, like it's hilarious. And then like I'll tell them like after, because there's lasers above your head that'll point at the person. After the first round, because they don't realize it's 3 rounds. They only know, they're like, oh, it's 1 round, and then during this, when it says round 2, I'm like, this is your chance to get back. And they're like, oh, and they'll point at their friends, and then they point at the people that pointed at them, and just, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
I just love watching like
And then by the time,
anarchy.
by the time they're out of the room, they're like, why would you do that to me? It like ruins friendships. It's like Monopoly. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's
That's the best. When a haunt can break people
Yes.
up, screw up friendship.
It
is
was
the best.
great.
That is our goal. Okay, just tearing families apart.
Yeah.
Snack number 3. Are they 4?
4?
4.
4.
Counting is hard. Let's do this. We're not gonna like touch things too hard.
Oh, my stuff.
It looks like a Nutty Buddy.
Mm. It's like a stale wafer.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I told
It
her
tastes like a Nutty Buddy. Just
it
without
looks like
peanut
a
butter.
disappointing Kit Kat.
A disappointing.
It is. There's just no
Want
crunch.
Yeah.
And I think that's like my biggest like qualm with it, but the flavor's there.
Yeah.
Oh, Thrash618 asks, what's the type of character you haven't scared as
Okay.
that you would like to?
So the clowns in Tumblr. I wanted to be clowns so bad. I wanted to be in Tumblr just once.
Yeah.
And Heather was like, not gonna happen. And I was like, oh.
Why?
Just cause like, I don't know. Cause like the clowns are already so good in there. They were already like awesome.
They were, and they were pretty good about like getting you from point A
Yeah,
to
it's
point
just,
B,
it'd be
but-
hard to train another person on it.
Got it.
And
But that's a goal.
I
to be in that
mean,
room.
I don't think it's gonna, is it gonna be bad?
I hope it does. I hope it goes like
I don't
this
know.
and like this, like Gravitron.
Oh my
I just want it to be just assaulted all senses.
That would be a lot of work, but
I just make the
they could do
entire
it. They would find a way to make that happen
make
if
the
they
entire
really
room
wanted
padding,
to.
like a mental, and then it's just like just
Oh my
roll
God.
them in a giant sphere.
Yeah, no, I would have. I wanted to be a clown so bad, and like I was a clown for one night at a haunt. I worked at Indiana, and like
You just felt like that was
I was like, this is so fun. 'Cause
My
I don't have
craft
to be.
is
I don't.
here.
I mean, I'm scary, but I get to be funny and silly. I don't have to
Yeah.
like be serious or anything.
yeah.
But then now I'm a Vixie nurse. It's like monotone, nothing, no emotion, nothing.
I think
Be
I could tell there was emotion, but when you were like looking at us and you were like, I was
Because
like,
they're like, just don't show any emotions, and if you want to show emotions, just be like mean or angry. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
which is totally not you.
Yeah, and I was like,
right?
I'm loud. Like at my audition, I was like loud, and I was like yelling a lot, and then they were like,
that made my stomach, like the pit in my stomach, just drop
because
so
that blue
much.
light, the
Because
blue
like
light
yeah,
out
I was
the
like,
door.
I looked over and like one guy's holding onto the bars and I'm like holding on like this and I look over and you're just like
boom. Yeah,
like
I did that. No, I did
and
that
I
all
was just
the time.
all
And then if you
do we know her?
I was like I don't know Mike.
if you had been in there longer, I would have opened the door and come out because normally I will. I'll like look at people and then I'll go away and they're like, what?
Yeah.
And then I'll open the door and they'll be like, who? What? She can come in here? It's like,
Well, good job for setting the mood.
I know. I was just like, oh my god, I'm defeated. I'm
You know what's funny
defeated.
is they came home, because I worked hot that night, they came home, I don't know what the dog is doing, but they're like, this girl was just staring us down, and she's like, did anyone message you, like, that knows us, that's working here? And I'm like, not yet.
yeah. And then I did.
And then he did, and I'm like, do you guys remember Amber? And they're like, yeah, I remember. And I'm like, that was her. And they're like,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
like, I think I got the message the next day when I woke up and I'm like half asleep from hot
Yeah.
and everything. I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
yeah. I don't think I had my contacts in that night either. It would have been creepier.
Scarecrow's animation wants to know, and I'm very curious about this, what makes you pick a target to scare on? Like, what things do you pick up on?
Okay. When I would be, so like when I'm in VR, I can go out right by the entrance where that gate is, and I can like mess with people up there a little bit, you know. So I would like take the gum off the wall sometimes and just put it in people's faces. Like a few people ate it out of my hand, and like I was like, and I was like, it's pre-chewed, and they're like, what? This is chewed? And I'm like, yeah, you're eating it, and they're like, oh my god, and I spit it back in my hand.
I think I remember that, and I was like, we were all like, nah.
Yeah, and then by the end of the season, we had a popsicle stick from pre-op, from VR, and we wrapped just a bunch of gum around it, and I call it a gumsicle. And it would stick on the wall, and I'd peel it off, and it'd be all like stretchy. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. But I'd pick on people with hoodies, so I could pull their strings. I'd pull their strings, so I'd go inside their hood, and they'd be like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, I hate it, but I
That
love
was like the most sadistic thing I've ever heard. Because you know how impossible it is to get the string back through?
I'd do that, and then I'd like, if people had hats on, I'd like pull them down, or if they had glasses on, I'd put them on their nose, and then they'd go to move it. I'd be like, nope, leave it, and they'd be like, what?
So you would target people that you're like, okay, I'm just gonna make their life very inconvenient, you know?
Yeah, I would do
That's
that.
what's great about the 17th door, because
Yep.
she can touch people.
Yeah.
That's what's so different about this haunt, is that like you can do that. It's crazy.
And
But you do it in such a good way where it's not like you never,
Yeah.
I think as a guest, you never feel like you're in danger. You never feel like overly uncomfortable where you're like, I don't want to
Yeah,
do
it
this
doesn't
anymore.
overly cross boundaries.
It's more just like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, ew.
Yeah, it's more like,
Get away
why?
from me,
Like, don't touch
you know?
me. Like,
Yeah.
this is weird. Yeah.
It's like a bug touching you. You're like, I know it's not gonna
Uh-huh.
hurt you, but you're like, stop it.
yeah. And I did.
Inconveniencing my life right
Yeah,
now.
I did pre-op for one night, just one night in VR. So what we do is we bring them in, and there's a video they'd play, and we got to like mess with them while you're in there. It's just me, and they're all sitting there, and I'm scribbling. There's like this thing, and what we do is just scribble and make like we're taking notes, and we get in their faces, and I like slam on the table, and one girl like, what? I was like, what? You saw me slamming it down.
Are you scared?
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick on you. And so I took a popsicle stick and I put it in her mouth and I was like, say ah, you know, and then I wipe it on the person next to her. And I wipe it on his forehead, and then I threw it at the girl sitting on the other side of her. Because my friend Rosie taught me that. And she also
Good, though.
she also would tie people's hoodie strings together. And so I would do that too. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Ah, you're
Okay. By the end of the season, she had a taser in her pocket. She'd walk outside and to the VR and be like, hey, ready to go?
Dang.
Oh my god. I think that happened to me when Mad Dog was trying to get into the cell in that scene, and nobody was helping Paula close the thing. So I walk up and I started holding, and then everybody else came and started holding, and the dude licked my hand, and I went, nope. I was like, let him in.
Yeah.
I was like, let him in.
Yeah, no.
It's worth
And
the
did he throw the barrel at you?
No.
Oh, he threw a barrel at
barrel.
He threw a barrel at me.
Someone threw a weight at me, and I thought it was a.
Oh, it's a fake weight!
I was like, oh!
we were training, and we had to walk through that. We walked through just a bunch of times through 4 rooms to do training, like for the timing of the rooms and everything. And one of my friends was in there. She threw the weight at me, and I was like, it
No,
freaked me
it's
out.
so realistic.
Yeah, because I was like, oh my god, and I was like, this weight's gonna fall on my foot, I'm gonna die, and then it hit me, and then I was like, oh, it's fake, and they all laughed at me, and I was like,
And I think the scare actor knew, like, to throw it at me, because the whole time I was like, what is she?
side-eyeing her.
Yeah, I'm like, what's she doing? She was like, okay, this fool's obviously scared of whatever is gonna
Yeah.
happen. Boom. Okay, so for snacky number 5,
Is
This
optional.
is where we get weird.
you can do this optional.
okay.
We
I'll
have,
probably do
is this the same flavor?
It is the same flavor.
A cricket.
Ooh.
that is chocolate and coffee flavored.
Oh, I don't want coffee.
Oh, you know what? I don't think you're good. I don't like it in general, and it doesn't taste like coffee. Okay, ready? Should we cheers?
You don't have to, honey.
Oh,
I'm just smelling. I just don't like coffee.
I don't like
I'll eat it.
I'm gonna put it in a.
I didn't do that coffee.
Dude, she took like a champ.
It doesn't taste bad.
I swallowed mine like a pill.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Because it just tastes like sand to me.
Yeah, it's just really like.
Sandy, greedy. Yeah.
Oh my god. So all the other reactions that we've had so far have been far worse.
Really?
than
It
what
kind of tastes like a sunflower seed.
There we go.
Yeah, it's
There
a
we
little
go.
nut. I said it was a little nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Wow.
There's like so many different
Well done.
flavors. Yeah.
Exactly. We're like that.
So deep dark, eh?
Door.
It's like I eat crickets for a living.
Just like whatever. All right, so last but not least, we're gonna play a little game.
Oh jeez.
Okay, and this is called Two Truths and One Lie. All right, but here's the stakes.
Oh, it's Tutti Frutti and Stinky Socks, right? I've played this game.
Dang that you know that just by the color.
Give it. I think I got socks last time.
You got
too.
stinky socks and it made this whole room
Or
smell like
skunk.
skunk.
So
Yeah,
tell two
gross.
truths and one lie about yourself to Mike and I.
Okay.
And if we guess the lie correctly, you have to choose. Now, I cannot guarantee that both of these are not the horrible flavor
Yeah.
or the good flavor because they don't tell us.
Yeah.
They don't separate the flavors.
No.
But if we guess wrong, then we have to eat the bean.
I had a guest eat a dead cockroach out of my hand. I had someone pass out in VR. And I had someone have an asthma attack in the latex room.
Those are all very plausible
Yes,
things.
those are very plausible things that can happen.
This one's very tricky. I think it's VR.
That's the lie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you think it's the lie? Okay.
Yeah.
So it is true that someone ate a dead cockroach out of my hand. And it is true that someone had an asthma attack. So it was the lie. No one passed out in VR. No one passed
Yes.
out.
Okay. That one was very hard.
You
Okay.
have to choose one.
Okay.
Take your medicine.
This one has more speckles on it, so I trust it.
Oh, she knows ins and out.
I want to smell it first. It's Tutti Frutti. Okay, good.
Damn.
I still want to eat it, but I don't want to smell it.
So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having
all the
me.
support on the channel as well. You did a
Yes.
fantastic job. 17th Door will be coming for you next year for sure. So
Alright.
be gentle. And
I feel like
with that being said, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and always be ready.
you never know your compass will take you.
Bye!
Tutti Frutti or
You can
something.
record this.
I am recording it.
No, that is disgusting.
It's
I love that trick. That was fantastic. Saved me that.
yeah, I was in.
Smell
I
that.
No.
Oh no, it's bad. Ooh. I was in pre-op and then there was a box of dead cockroaches and I was like, I'm just gonna see if someone will eat it. And this guy was like, it's not real. It's not real. And I was like, you want to eat it? And he was like, sure. And he was like, okay. And he ate it. And he was like, oh, it's real.
I feel the leg stuck in between my
Yeah.
teeth.